to LongWalker Reacts. We got a nice calm one for you guys today. Woke TikToks.
I don't know if it's calm. Yeah, so
Yeah, maybe not calm, but you know,
should be fun.
nothing too serious today. We're just gonna go over some cringeworthy things. So let's get started, shall we?
After switching to a high school girls division.
Yet another mind-boggling
Way to
example
cheat,
of
bro.
our society going down the drain. Not sure why we keep rewarding mediocre male athletes by allowing them to switch into women's divisions.
Frost me.
Before transitioning last year, Soren Stark Chessa was far from the fastest, finishing 51st in the boys' Festival of Champions race. This year, the athlete showed a major improvement as he took part in the female division of the same competition, ending up 5th.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
It's a shame that all the female runners have to participate in his delusion. Honestly, I don't understand how he's not embarrassed about the situation.
Some parents argued that the male-born student
people
might
don't
have
care,
an
they just
unfair
wanna win.
advantage, but neither the school nor organizers have been willing to admit it. The Maine Coast Waldorf School Athletics Director hit back at critics, saying that they were proud of all their students.
My daughter was taken from her loving home because the state of California claimed I was abusive for not affirming her trans identity.
That
I
is
lost my daughter
ridiculous.
over a name and a pronoun. I promised to call her a male name. It wasn't enough. My daughter was not a boy trapped in a girl's body. He had mental health issues.
I never would have believed 20 years ago that a government would remove a child from their
Yeah.
parent just because that parent wouldn't reaffirm their gender identity. I feel so sorry for this mother.
Against my consent,
the world that
my
we live in,
daughter
ladies
was
and gentlemen.
given testosterone.
This is what we have to fight back
Instead
as
of
people
the
that
LGBT
want to change.
group use her to raise money for them. The abuse claim against me was finally dropped, but it was too late. By then,
Yeah, the
my
damage is
daughter
done
was
then. What
in
are you
a
supposed to do?
horrible mental and physical pain. My daughter knelt down in front of a train. She was murdered by gender ideology. I beg you, stop pushing gender ideology.
It's sick that people are blaming the mother and still calling her daughter the son. Anyways, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, no.
Looks like he's having a
Oh yeah, this
nice
one.
piece
I've seen
of
this
cheese.
one several times.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
It's all
will
good.
worthy.
But it was not all good.
Hi.
This
I use
guy.
she, her
Yes.
pronouns. I'm not certain. Yeah, like it.
Okay.
Daughter button, ladies and gentlemen.
This guy here, you need to find. I'll see if I can bring it up. We need to find like what he looked like before he transitioned. He was a shady looking fellow back when he was looking like a guy. And now he identifies as a woman, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
But is now also identifying as a lesbian.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the same fellow, and he's.
And it's just ridiculous because why didn't you just say a freaking male dating females? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, he was a real shady
It's-
looking fellow. He looked like I mean, the picture I saw of him looked like it was a mugshot. He looked like somebody who'd break into your house.
you know, and I'm not saying that all transgenders aren't. It isn't what it is, but
This
you know,
guy-
there's a lot of them that just do it for the attention. There is another one that's on here that is what's his name? It's the
the offensive.
the offensive tranny,
Yeah.
and he's really good, and you know, says it exactly how it is. He's a really good guy. So, back to it.
It's like a knife in the heart.
Oh yeah, see.
I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir.
Imagine calling a restaurant ahead of time just to tell them what pronouns to call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just gonna go.
Oh, he's calling the Duchess then.
Okay. The Sweetwater starts at okay. Not.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every
He's
single
always looking
time.
knife.
I was wondering if
Come
there's a
on.
manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Okay. It just really sucks every time it happens.
Yeah.
I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you.
See, and that's the problem. They stay looking like one gender that they don't want to be called because they want people to misgender them. They want to have the chance, and it's ridiculous. Just absolutely.
Did you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that
Are you
the
watching
person
cat
who
movie?
gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh,
It
sorry
hurts
about
a
that.
lot.
First of all, everyone is being exceptionally nice to him and nobody's intentionally misgendering him. How can you blame someone who just met you for not guessing your pronouns correctly?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Because they change them
Oh,
daily.
yeah. Thank you.
So they could be like, oh, I go by
Not a
sir, and then the next day, well, why the hell would you call
Nothing
me that?
like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him.
It's ridiculous.
I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more though when it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know.
No, if he
it
didn't
hurts.
mean,
I
if
know
you
when
knew he
people
didn't
clock
mean
me,
it, then
it's
why
fine,
bring
but
it up?
like, it does kind of hurt.
That is the stupidest
you.
thing I've ever heard.
I'm not sir.
Yep.
Not sir. Not sir. But the guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
Oh, him know that, and
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just saw a video of a cis woman saying that the periods trans women get are fundamentally different than the periods cis women get because it's from medicine we chose to take.
those idiots.
Because if that medicine isn't the
Arnold.
same shit that gives you your
He was like
period,
Government
Don't
nature.
get your panties all up in a wad.
oh my god! And then she's just like, you can't get a period without a uterus. No, you can't menstruate without a uterus. Period is a collection of symptoms that trans women get from the same stuff that you have.
No,
Yeah, we have to
no,
take
it's not.
it, but it's the same stuff.
No, I don't think it is, sir. Is this guy really quote unquote mansplaining what a period is to women?
This thing, when it's
Sounds like
full,
it.
that's 4 months of periods. Where are your 4 months of periods? Oh,
Yeah,
I have to
man.
wait 4 months to see them? You can see mine right here. See, this is how we know that, like, transphobes, TERFs, people who don't listen to trans people when they say their life experiences aren't feminists. Because a feminist would see these things and find a way to bring us together as women. You just want to draw lines in the sand.
Let's find
Oh
a
my
way
God.
to get us
Who is this
attention
guy?
on
Somebody needs to
YouTube.
fire this guy's biology teacher. I can't imagine how many collective brain cells society's lost from having this video on the internet.
Are you a boy
Still
or a
counting.
girl?
Oh, this one.
Now, this one's absolutely ridiculous.
Are you a girl? Yes. What is Riley? What are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 Are you a boy?
Yeah.
Are you a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you both?
He's not even saying anything.
Both? Okay, that's fine. You can be both if you want to.
You can see the evil in her soul from a mile away. Honestly, you'd have to be blind to not see how hard she's forcing this.
You would.
I will no longer call a person queer if I don't see them participating in queer politic. You're gay, sure, you're gay. That is not the same as queer. If you haven't put a mask on in a week, not queer. You're just not queer. You're not. Queerness is supposed to be radical. It's supposed to be about supporting each other, helping each other, and making sure that we lift up from the most vulnerable of our community. A lot of you gays are not acting like queers right now, so I'm not going to call you queer.
What?
My look
Since
exactly.
when did being radical mean do as the government says? That same government didn't allow your same-sex marriage in all 50 states until 2015. As always, the amount of time and energy these people devote to this nonsense just fascinates me.
Be mindful of other people and stop being a fucking scumbag, and you're a liar. I heard you. Stop fucking gaslighting trans people.
That looked like it.
Wait, what?
And it sounds like Napoleon
Did you
Dynamite.
call me sir again? What was that? You said goodnight, sir?
Oh my god, it does.
It is
Alex,
Popeye's
I'm gonna be
chicken.
talking to corporate about you, you motherfucker. Fuck you.
Wow.
Okay? That's bullshit.
Okay, have a nice
you
day,
don't fucking
sir.
harass trans people at work. Yeah, you did. And I'm walking out and you're like, have a good night, sir? What the fuck is that?
I would've done it again.
You don't fucking do this to trans people. This is discrimination. No, this is discrimination. I'm fucking done with it.
Then get out of here.
You called me sir.
Why are you
and
still
you're talking
here
shit,
if you've
calling me
done
sir
this?
on the way out. This is transphobic harassment. You're a fucking
Content
bigot
seeker.
at work. All right, Alex, you know what? I can't wait to just He admits twice calling me sir. It's a slur. Do you not understand?
I never said sir.
It's like if you call the person of color the N-word. And I'm going to hold you accountable. Cis people need to be held accountable for how they treat trans people. And I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
You're crazy.
You're fucking, don't call me fucking bro. Stop fucking throwing slurs at me, you fucking piece of shit. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
I ain't your sis, I ain't your fucking bro. You don't even fucking know me.
Nope.
I have a really proud moment that I want to share. So I'm a long distance parent, and
see this one coming a
I
mile
get
away
to
too.
typically talk to my kiddo through FaceTime. And we've been working on my pronouns for probably about a year now. Everyone that she's with on a regular basis doesn't use my pronouns correctly. And so that's a really, really hard sort of like line to walk for her because she's not with me all the time. But we do talk about it. We talk about pronouns. We talk about, what her pronouns are, what daddy's pronouns are, what mommy's pronouns are, what other people's pronouns are. And we just like really work through it. I always just gently remind her and say, hey, baby, what are mommy's pronouns? And she's so funny because she's always like, they, them. Like, she knows. This really sweet thing happened where she was going to tell her dad something and use my pronouns correctly without me needing to remind her. Like, did it all by herself. And I just, my heart was so full. It felt like my child, like, actually saw me for just that moment. Simple as that. Effort is all we're asking for.
Story time. This has been my first year in preschool with a class of my own, teaching alongside another queer neurodivergent educator, and we have been rocking R2's class. We've been talking about gender and skin color and consent and empathy and our bodies and autonomy. It's been fabulous. So today at the lunch table, when the topic of gender and genitals came up, one of our students plainly looked up and said, well, I'm a girl today. But I know that teacher Co isn't. No, they're NB. And the look on the incoming teacher's face was priceless. She was shocked in a good way. And she just looked around at the two of us and said, this class is incredible and I am so impressed.
That's not good. Any more?
Are you a boy or are you a girl?
Maybe I'm a boy inside and a girl outside.
Really?
Yeah, is that true?
Only you know the answer to that. So if you wanted to grow up to be a man, would you tell me?
Yeah.
The parent wants content.
If you wanted to grow up and be a man, you could.
To get it.
The mother's hair just gives it away immediately. She's the root problem.
I want to be.
All we don't
Sometimes
have to
I
do is make the mother happy.
Boy, sort of, but I want to be a girl.
Yeah.
Would you have me if I'm a boy?
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
The son almost looks scared to say he's a boy. I've said it countless times. Parents like this need jail time.
Of course. I would love you no matter what. I always have, and I always will.
It was the first time Vanessa ever heard Josie sound uncertain.
Would that be like a fair fight?
I believe so, yes. I don't think that biology necessarily equates to someone's skill range.
This is hilarious. Even having a regular man fighting Floyd Mayweather isn't fair.
Yes.
You think that would be a fair fight?
Yes.
If the organization forced the female boxers to have to compete, then we had no choice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If they're identifying as women, they're a woman.
So, female boxer in his same weight class? Yes.
Bone
At that point, she would be a woman, and I think it's problematic to say that a woman cannot be as strong as Floyd Mayweather.
It's fine then if a man is fracturing a woman's skull.
Doesn't matter if he identifies as a female.
Almost feels like a lot of these people are secretly anti-woman. Either that or they really need to lay off the drugs.
Get some of those women killed.
Trans women are women, so it would be a woman. Do you think trans women are women?
No.
So, I mean, that's where we disagree.
Fox eliminated knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox. Holy cow. Game over.
That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Yeah!
Oh my god.
Vegan horse riding championship in Finland goes viral. The sport doesn't involve any actual horses. Instead, players ride a stick with a toy horse head, prance around with their own human legs, and even jump over barriers. The sport is officially called hobby horsing, with about 1,500 people competing in it from all over the world.
But what can I say? At least the kids are having fun. But if this ever makes it into the Olympics or anything remotely serious on a national level, I'm personally hitting the reset button for humanity.
Yeah, all of this is just ridiculous when people start going to other things, and instead of going and riding actual horses and getting that experience, they're not good at it. So they have to go to something similar, but nowhere near.
My biggest problem with society is today is how people either they have pets or they have no animals at all, and they've all lost that connection to have an animal partner. Like
Yes.
two hearts, two minds working together toward the same goal. And I think that's been the biggest problem with society these days is the fact that nobody has any goddamn animals.
Exactly.
They haven't learned from the animals, and they don't have any connection to the animals.
It's absolutely ridiculous, some of what is seen.
I was just wondering, what were your opinions on the LGBTQ plus community?
Well, I don't think it's one community.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, how could it be? Just mashed together an alphabet soup. Trans is fundamentally in tension with gay, if you ask me. But what's your opinion?
I am personally pansexual, so I was just wondering what your views on same-sex couples were.
I don't have a negative view of same-sex couples, but I do have a negative view of a tyranny of the minority. So I think that in the name of protecting against the tyranny of the majority, and there are times in this country's history where we have had a tyranny of the majority, we have now, in the name of protecting against tyranny of the majority, created a new tyranny of the minority. And I think that that's wrong. I don't think that somebody who's religious should be forced to officiate a wedding that they disagree with. I don't think somebody who is a woman who's worked really hard for her achievements should be forced to compete against a biological man in a swim competition.
Not at all.
I don't think that somebody who's a woman that respects her bodily autonomy and dignity should be forced to change clothes in a locker room with a man. That's not freedom, that's oppression. And so I believe that we live in a country where free adults should be free to dress how they want, behave how they want, and that's fine. But you don't become oppressive by foisting that on others. And that especially includes kids, because kids aren't the same as adults. And so I think adults are free to make whatever choices they want, but do not foist that ideology onto children before children are in a position as adults to make decisions for themselves. And so I think a lot of the frustration in the country, and if I'm being really honest, that I also share, comes from that new culture of oppression, where saying those things can actually get somebody punished. And in my case, it's part of why it's my responsibility to say them. I respect that you may have a different opinion, and that's okay. It's part of what makes our country great is that you and I can be civil and have this conversation, and that we live in a country that still gives us, each of us, the right to
but most of them won't be civil. That's the problem.
To a presidential candidate and back, and still say that we pledge allegiance to the same nation. So I think that's the beauty of our country, and that's my honest opinion.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks.
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your civility as well. I appreciate it.
Today I was at a coffee shop with a friend and I saw a stranger that I thought was really cute and I decided to go up and ask them out. I was hyping myself up for like 2 minutes because the thought of rejection terrifies me, but my therapist says that I should start doing it in order to meet people, so I approached the stranger. The stranger was sitting with a friend. I went up to them and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I think you're really cute. I was wondering if I could get your number. They look at me and they go, oh my gosh, I'm so flattered. That means so much. Thank you. But I'm actually straight.
What you're saying is he was exceptionally polite to you and you still managed to get offended.
And I said, no worries, and I walked away, and I didn't tell them that I am a woman, a trans woman, but I didn't say that. The idea of being rejected and having someone assume my gender felt safer to me than me standing up for myself and saying to the person I'm actually a woman. I have a deep voice. I wasn't wearing any makeup. I'm wearing a cute outfit though, so.
Holy cow.
You assumed their sexual orientation just as much as they assumed your gender. Stop playing the victim.
You know, there's that. I know that this isn't an everyday occurrence. It still hurt. It is what it is. We're not meant for each other. There are lots of other people out there who see me for the way that I see myself, and I'm excited to continue to find those people. And I'm still hot, so.
Definitely gay if you date that. And all of this is happening with this infectious idea that's taking over of this idea of parents' rights. That
What?
So basically, according to her, parents only have the right to pay school fees, taxes, and her salary.
parents have a right to know. They have a right to know if their child is going by a different name or using different pronouns in school. And the thing that keeps hitting me about this is
our
that
kid, not yours.
parents don't have rights, not parents' rights. Kids have rights. Individuals have rights. We have seen in our legal and justice systems that the decisions that parents make can be legally overridden by their children. Children who are old enough to understand a concept.
The key word is old enough to understand. Someone ask her why we don't let kids smoke, drink, or vote until 18. And ask her whether gender identity or gender transitioning has a bigger or smaller impact on their life than everything I just mentioned.
Are old enough to provide their own independent consent to that. And if a kid knows what pronouns are, then frankly, they're able to consent to changing their own pronouns, and their parents do not need to be involved in that decision.
I was eating meat racist. I'll gladly tell you. Looks like we've got an oppressor on our hands. So, during slavery times, slaves did not get to eat the same things as their masters. They got the scraps that no one wanted. Chitterlings. Now that black people have overcome slavery, they developed a rich barbecue culture to make up for all the meat eating that they lost out on. So when you go to the store and you buy a piece of meat as a white person, you are actively taking away a piece of meat that could be being enjoyed by a survivor of ancestral slavery. Eating meat is not only racist, but it's also anti-Semitic. During the Holocaust, Jews did not get to eat meat in labor camps. They ate potato soup, which would spill on their bodies, burning them and giving them infections.
Worker who simply refuses to use the correct every time she misgenders me, and she.
I'd like to shake the hand of her co-worker. I bet she's been putting up with this for far too long.
Just is resigned to not
change
change.
it daily
And today
and
just broke something in me. I just snapped. I
not
ended
gonna
up
care about anybody
yelling at
else.
her after the third time she misgendered me, and within like 30 minutes, like, I use they, them pronouns.
Lady, nobody cares about your pronouns.
No.
Life's tough, get a helmet,
Yeah,
as
you have
Candace
the right
Owens
to have
say.
pronouns, and I just like I have
If
the right to
I'm
not say them.
transitioning, why am I pregnant when that's such a woman thing to do? I would first of all like to say that it is free for me, because one person asked why I don't do like surrogacy. I'm basically I feel like I'm doing surrogacy for myself. It's free for me. If I have the parts, I'm a dad, y'all. I'm about to have my third child. If I have it, I'm gonna get my well use out of it. So I am going to grow the baby myself. I have it.
You're a woman.
I'm gonna get my use out of it.
Give birth.
And then I'm gonna get it cut out. I have these. I'm gonna get my use out of them. When they're done, gone. Pregnancy is not feminine for me. It's not like a woman thing for me, because I'm not a woman, and when I'm pregnant, I'm still
You are a woman.
not a woman.
That is a woman thing.
If you want an explanation that you're not going to listen to
Yes.
anyway, I'm going to explain this to you very clearly. People who use ghost self pronouns do not actually think that they're a ghost, since somebody told you that apparently. They just feel like ghost self is a perfect way to describe how they feel about their gender pronoun wise. And it literally works the same way as if you would use somebody's name instead of a pronoun. It works the same way as talking about somebody in the third person. Literally, if I were to say Salem's favorite game is a PlayStation 2 game, and it makes Salem very happy that it still works, but then you replace it with a neo-pronoun, so it will be Ghost's favorite game is a PlayStation 2 game, and it makes Ghost very happy because it still works. Like, it's the same thing in a different font. Why is this so difficult for you to grasp? It's such a simple concept, and third graders can understand it.
What else do we got here?
Is it heading on its own?
Yeah.
Okay.
My choice! My choice!
I need to be here.
Period! So you should respect women. I'm sorry, I am a woman.
Oh, this will be fun.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Honestly, today, man, I got some fire. Showcasing some of society's most logical people. Yeah, and if you have a different opinion to these people, don't worry. They're extremely accepted. If you like these videos, make sure you like. It does something with the algorithm, so if you can go ahead and like it, I really will appreciate that. But anyway, let's get straight into it.
What about folks who have wombs but are not women? Like trans people, genderqueer folks. Why do you keep saying women when this issue affects more than women?
Because there are two genders, male and female.
I am non-binary. I have a friend who is intersex, who is born, who has different chromosomes than you would expect somebody physically to have. Because how many people in this room have had a chromosomal test? This issue affects more than women. It affects trans men. It affects genderqueer folks.
Women have wombs.
I am not a woman, and I have a womb.
You are a woman.
I know.
Man, sit your ass down.
Your vote means everything to me.
Props to
It
that,
means
yeah,
everything to making a
woman in the
change
front,
in this
man.
country.
So
So remember, when you're voting for your favorite artist, vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us.
If you have kids, you are a woman.
Get out of here, man!
She needs to calm down. She's getting out of breath just by doing that speech. Anyway, let's see how oppressed she really is. Oh, look, here she is, pulling up to her private jet in a Rolls Royce. So oppressed. Lizzo's epic $26 million home has to be seen to be believed. Look at that, that's crazy. Swimming pool, views. Oh, wow, she's so oppressed. These people are so out of touch with reality. In the words of Ricky Gervais,
You know nothing about the real world, except your little award, thank your agent and your God, and...
Yep.
the only law that is oppressing Lizzo is the law of gravity. Eats enough to save 5 hungry children. Claims she's oppressed.
We have dinosaurs now. Jim.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here.
The gamer. Gamer. That's annoying.
You need Jesus, man.
Need to respect women, period. So you should respect women. I'm sorry, I am a woman. So fuck you. So I don't really have time for this. And I don't have time. My mistake. You're going to let me speak because here's my truth. I've been 4 times. I've known women that have been multiple times gruesomely. And how dare you sit up here and try to say that women aren't worth respect? Fuck you.
What's your profanity?
Didn't say that. I am a woman. I just became a woman. It's just like, are you kidding me? People don't even respect me, period. And I'm already black, so it's just like, yeah, that already goes against me anyways. But still, you piece of living garbage ass dumpster fire trash gum on the bottom of my shoe. Oh my god, I wish I had a tissue for the blood. I would
When I suggest it's your behavior, not because you're black or a woman.
Complains about not being respected, but then acts like that. I'm sure if you act normal and you act respectful to other people, then you're going to get respected, generally speaking, right? But no, this person wants to scream and shout and swear at everyone and then complains about not being respected. Anyway, let's check out some comments. That's one angry dude. All that because this individual is delusional and in fantasy land. The definition of victim mentality.
That's true. That's fucking true.
It's with these. You are not 17 years old. You are not. You're still 17 years old. You might identify as 17, but that ain't 17.
You know what? She looks like the female version of Peter Griffin.
Try me. Trump 2020! Trump! 4 more years! 4 more years!
Look at this.
What, try it? My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice!
I was starting an exorcism. You're going there with the water.
These people
Be
are
gone.
insane. I
Be
keep telling you.
gone.
It's just funny at this point. I don't even care anymore. I've seen so much of this bullshit, and I just laugh at it. These people need help. Imagine sitting down and trying to have like a normal, peaceful debate with her. It's not gonna happen, is it?
You're not educating shit. This is fucking propaganda. What are you gonna do? Like anti-trans next? Is that what you're gonna do next? I mean, no, we're talking about abortion. This is bullshit. This is violent. You're triggering my students. Oh, I'm sorry about that. No, you're not. Because you can't even have a fucking baby. So you don't even know what that is. You don't even know what this is. Get this shit the fuck out of here, yo. Fuck this shit.
The only thing this video is missing is her blowing up and getting fat like the nutty professor, because that's exactly what this woman is. This isn't the way that you handle a disagreement or having a different thought than the person at the table. You look stupid. You look dumb.
I think that we'll all agree that motherhood starts way beyond the biological event. And anyone, including men, can mother and play the role of a mother.
Father, women, mother. That's because they're
That is absolutely ridiculous. It does not go beyond the biological sense. It's exactly that. Motherhood is carrying the baby and being the mother and nursing it.
The gentler shit.
Yeah, the gentler stuff.
Feeding them, teaching them, it's like I think even in nature, the way that all of nature is, it's like, sometimes you will have, like for instance, a male cat that might be a little bit more compassionate toward a baby or something,
Yes.
but there's a big difference to the way that they still respond. They're not really mothering it.
Exactly.
They're just being nice to it,
And I mean, that is ridiculous that people would want to say any different. And I've had a lot of, a lot of agreements with Piers Morgan on a lot of these things coming up.
Who it is up there?
Yeah.
titles are male and female titles.
Okay, mother and to father are not gender specific.
They are gender specific.
No, they're not.
Why are we pretending
the
otherwise?
Skills
of course
to
they're
mother
gender
and to
specific.
father.
Mothers are women. I hate to break it to you.
Okay,
I know we're not allowed to
mother-
say this anymore, but it's an insult to every damn mother in this
You're
country.
reducing
That some of these
it.
blokes
You're
come along and go,
reducing it.
I'm mummy. No, you're not.
You
You're
are.
not. You're daddy if you want to be daddy. You're not mummy.
Give you that
Do you have
debate.
kids?
Yes, I have a
How many?
4-year-old. A 4-year-old.
How many times has
You're
your son
gender
called you daddy?
stereotyping.
Okay, how many times has he
Well,
called
here's
you
a
daddy?
brilliant example.
You just said he thinks you're both.
He buys me a
How many
Father's
times
Day
has he said, hi,
card.
daddy?
He buys me a Father's Day card.
Has he ever
and says,
called you daddy?
You are a mum and a dad
Has he
to
ever
me.
called you daddy?
Yes,
Has he ever called you daddy?
It's all
That's
Oh, well,
irrelevant.
so you can say whatever you want, but you need to be also be ready for like the repercussions of what you.
But yeah, she couldn't say, yes, he calls me dad.
Right.
She was saying that on the card, but she never once truly said, yes, he calls me daddy.
It says that your mom. It says that your mom and dad to me.
Yeah, but she never once said.
Do you out now?
Yeah.
Just like have that as your title. Does he think of you as a male figure? And there's just no way.
No.
And if he's saying that, it's kinky and it's weird.
Yeah, very.
Okay, you're not free to say whatever you want if you get fired for an off-color joke.
Okay,
How would you feel
well,
when it's you who's out of step with the social mores
okay,
of the
and
day?
then you get the repercussions of what you said.
I think you're still acting like this is something new, though. People have been fired.
Well, I'm not, but two wrongs don't make a right.
People have been fired for things that they've said for forever. But now we're seeing an era where if you're disrespectful or bigoted towards someone, you get fired for that. I don't see that as a bad thing.
But it's a lot more that's been caught up than just...
Right, see, here is the problem. She says if you're disrespectful, then you'll get fired. The problem is, who decides what's disrespectful?
Yeah.
With all these new woke people around, you can't do anything. I mean, you can breathe and it offends them and they feel disrespected. And these are the same people who want to police what you say. And because they don't like it and they feel disrespected and their feelings are hurt, they think you should be banned off all platforms or you should be fired. If that Sailor Moon girl was fired for what she said, she would cry misogyny, sexism all day. Yeah, of course she would. That's the problem with these people. They're happy to point the finger and get offended by everyone else. But the second it happens to them, then there's a problem with it.
Yeah. Another one down.
So, for those of you that know, my name is Lyric. Today, making a video that isn't like the other
Fundraising
content
for my
that I
son's
typically
transition.
make. Basically, I'm raising money to help fund my son's transition-related costs. I'm sharing this with his permission. Basically, we already have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria for him. We have gotten his blood work done, and we need to start him on puberty blockers as soon as possible. Now, I transitioned later, so I wasn't familiar with how puberty blockers worked. Basically, my insurance doesn't cover this.
Of course not.
Which is wonderful, right? The generic version of Lupron, that we have a 22.5 milligram dose that is going to cost out of pocket $468 per shot. And each shot lasts 3 months. So
3 nights?
I mean, 4 days a year. Close to $2,000. I have already exhausted most of my funds. I need help.
Day 66, being a girl, and today I'm in nature.
God.
Trees, I love them. Water, lakes, I love them. Heels, they're my hiking heels. I love them. Okay, come on. Day 74, being a girl, round of applause for the makeup. And I wore this outfit shopping today. And I thought that these might be my new shopping shorts. But I was walking around and everyone was staring. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on? And they were all staring directly at my crotch. And I went, oh, I forgot that my crotch doesn't look like other women's crotches sometimes, because mine doesn't look like a little Barbie pocket.
No
Women
kidding.
having bulges sometimes, because we're coming up on bikini season, baby, and you might see a bulge or two. So normalize the bulge. We are normalizing the bulge.
No.
Women can have bulges, and that's okay. Day 75 of being a girl, and I've been carrying around tampons and pads for the past 2 months, but I've actually never opened one up. So let's do it. Woohoo! I thought the letters stood for small, medium, and large based on the size of your Barbie pouch, but after a Google, I found out it's actually the level of your flow. So they're super, regular, and light. I guess my question is, which one do I carry around? The super? Because maybe if you have a light flow, you can still use a super? I don't know.
I've known I'm trans for about 3 years, and I've come to understand that my gender is like one of those soups that have been cooking for like 100 years. It's always the...
Talking about trying to fundraise for his son's transition. I heard something about puberty blockers, right?
Yes.
So that's indicating that he's under like the age of like
18.
And puberty blockers probably around the age of between 15.
Yeah, 13, I imagine.
13 to 15.
Yeah. We don't know yet how old. I think this is the same one.
And they used to say, I don't think that's not the same guy.
It's not?
No. No, not even close. But no, the other guys, like, they used to say that, well, just because you're raised by, like, gay people doesn't mean that your child's going to turn out gay. And that used to be the case.
Not anymore.
But now it seems like if you're, I mean, look at the guy. He had nose ring, purple hair.
Oh, yeah, and the part of the problem, too, is they try to live their life through the kid.
Yeah.
Doing that, the kid is always going to want to please the parent.
Right.
Doing that, they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
And that might ruin their life completely in that matter.
Absolutely. And then there's going to be a lot of resentment.
Yeah, there is. For sure. Ready?
Yeah.
Same soup. It's made up of multiple components that interact with each other, and then every now and then someone will add a new ingredient and the whole thing changes. I noticed a fluctuation this week when I was playing a game and I realized that I was panicking. What happened was, new game, asks for my name, asks for my pronouns, and I've been using he, they pronouns for about a year now. And they've been comfy, they've been great. And suddenly there's this pixel robot, and it says to me, are you sure that your pronouns are he and they? And I'm looking at it, and I'm panicking. And something twigs in the back of my mind. Oh, I'm panicking about the pronouns. Suddenly, he and they are not the right pronouns anymore. Something has changed, and
Yeah, because they fed you that, and you're like, oh my god, maybe I am something else.
So then, you change. You try something new.
There was a lot of mental disorders going around out there.
In this case, the game had a bunch of neopronoun sets as well. So I picked one, just Z's there, just at random. I'm referred to in the game, and yeah, it feels okay. So later in the day, I mentioned this to my wife, and she says, oh, so my partner's experimenting with Zer's pronouns. And I felt this warmth in my chest of like, yeah, that's right. I'm not sure if that's 100% right, but it fits. She is also now calling me her Zer, which is adorable. When I think about it, though, I have been feeling like they, them is very gender neutral, very no gender. And I am gender full. I feel gender. I'm like gender chaotic.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it makes sense
it's
that
because they panic on everything else.
To your face,
They
Ty.
hide themselves away.
Makeup. You put makeup on it? Mm-hmm. How old are you?
7.
No. How old are you?
7.
You're 4.
No, 7.
Are you a boy or a girl?
A girl.
A girl? Mm-hmm. Were you born a girl?
The kid doesn't know. Come on.
Were you born a girl?
Yes.
When you were a baby, were you a girl?
Yes.
Are you in a boy's body, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is coaching to the highest, and that is ridiculous.
Okay, tell TikTok bye.
You're gonna ruin that poor kid's life.
Trans people get a lot of abuse online, and recently someone online said to me, they said, you'll never be a real woman. Do you know why? Because you can't have a baby. You can't get pregnant. Yes, I can. I think I can. I have a lot of willpower. I have a lot of resolve. I have a lot of confidence. I think I can do anything I put my mind to. And right now,
Well, best of
I'm
luck on
putting
that
my
one.
mind to having a baby. I don't even want one. I'm just doing it out of spite. And when I have it, inexplicably, somehow, by the grace of God, I'm gonna breastfeed it. But not with my breast, with the breast of a dog. I'll just leave it in the park and let dogs look after it. I'm gonna name it Clementine, whether it's a girl or a boy, and I'm gonna tell it that it can be anything it wants, even a traffic warden. In fact, I'm gonna actively encourage it to become a traffic warden. A dog milk drinking traffic warden that lives in the park called Clementine, that was birthed from the strange womb of a trans woman and squeezed out of my butthole. Because by the grace of God, Lord Jesus Christ, anything is possible. Even squeezing a baby from a trans woman's butthole. So get used to it, conservatives. Get used to it, atheists. Get used to it, Jordan Peterson. This is the future that you fear. This is our world now.
Tell me why I just got misgendered at the pharmacy getting my testosterone needles. I literally introduced myself saying that I'm a trans man on hormone replacement therapy, and I'm inject myself with testosterone, and I'm here to get the needles. And it's because I usually get it mailed to my house, but they mailed me the syringes and not the needles, so I came to get the needles. Tell me why this woman yells across the room, she needs needles so she can inject her medicine. Who is she?
Shouldn't care.
You cannot
It's
tell
not
me.
that big
You
a
cannot
deal.
tell me for a second that this is the voice of a woman.
I thought it was a young
Or the presentation.
Yeah, I mean, to me it looks like
I
a
have
gentleman.
facial
Right.
hair, my voice is deep. Also,
come on, you had
I
full
told you from the
hair,
start
and you got
that I'm
Yeah,
a
I've been
trans
called a
man
woman from behind.
on testosterone.
I mean, it happens.
And I know sometimes people just make mistakes, whatever the they're just insanely ignorant. But no, this was intentional. This was intentional, and I'm annoyed, and oh my god. But honestly, joke's on her. That was embarrassing for her. Because when she yelled across the room with she, her pronouns for me, you should have seen the looks of the other people. They were like, yeah, we're on the same page here. Nothing about this says woman.
Have to start being straight
Straight sex is the #1 cause for abortions. And that's not what God wanted.
That's true.
But you can choose your sexuality. So choose gay for the babies.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't.
They do.
Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello.
For those of you who don't know me, I am a medical school professor specializing in molecular biology. I also have an extensive background in gender studies and queer studies. The idea of sex as an immutable characteristic is a turf talking point that's been around for decades, and it's been weaponized against trans women in particular in the fashion of, oh, but you will always be male and therefore invading female spaces. Sex as it pertains to humans is a construct. It is a set of spectrum variables with bimodal distribution that we draw an arbitrary set of boundaries around into two broad categories, but they are not immutable characteristics. Almost all of those characteristics can be changed through hormones or through surgery. This is literally an argument that gets trans women killed and is the thing that people are using to tell us that we can't change our birth certificates, right? Stop.
Okay, so when I was learning about anthropology and Egyptology and everything, you know, it's like we came across mummies that they said were like closer to being 10,000 years old because they belonged out in the deserts before the cities even were built.
Yes.
And everything. So you had the river dwelling people, and then they would bury their dead in the desert. In the hot desert, so that it had preserved them and everything. Okay, so even so, they still decayed, and by the time they got around to us, we couldn't tell if they were male or female just based on the flesh. They found out because of the bones. Because of how many bones we have in the body and how the alignment of the hips are.
Yes.
So, 100,000 isn't going to matter how much they change their flesh.
Nope.
The bones will not lie.
No, bones do not lie. That is flat out the way it goes.
They're saying, well, we can change the biology. I could give myself a coochie and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but you cannot change how wide your hips are.
Yeah, you can't.
Or how shallow your ribs are. You can't change how wide their collarbones are compared to a woman's and how narrow.
Exactly.
They just can't change that. So it doesn't matter how much they can fake us now. In 10,000 years, 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Well, 100,000 years is not really going to matter at all because it's all going to be dust. But
oh, yeah.
10,000 years.
But no.
They're going to look at the bones and they're going to misgender you.
Again and again and again.
And you'll be in the museums and, yeah.
How far are we in this one?
I don't know. Good.
I would like you to promise me that you will stop treating trans people this way.
I'm treating you bad? And I'm doing it?
Your staff.
And I'm doing it?
Your staff.
They're not doing that, man.
Yes, they were.
Okay, well, no. I mean, like I said, your name on the credit card, it's a feminine name?
No.
Exactly. They're not discriminating you.
Yes,
no,
they are. Because someone else could be paying.
But you handing the card.
I'm sorry. If someone else was sitting here, that was a man, and I handed them that card, they would not have said anything. But because I'm alone, they're going to be an asshole and discriminate against me and be transphobic.
No, it's because you want to start shit.
Nobody's transphobic like you're saying.
No, that is what's happening.
What, his?
That's how you
I
feel.
know.
I'm so
no,
sorry.
No, it's actually not how I feel.
Yes, you are.
There's
because
a
you're
difference.
doing this because of that.
No, there's a difference.
Because, like in my sexuality, whatever it is, and I feel confident of who I am.
I'm not
what I
talking about sexuality.
That's what you're just telling me.
You don't even know what we're talking about. So how can you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about? We're talking about gender identity.
He's pretty damn calm.
You're talking about sexuality.
Okay.
There's a difference.
What are you? So I can call you. What are you?
No.
What are you?
Why does it matter?
No. What are you?
Why does it matter?
What are you?
Why does it
does matter, so I can call you the right pronoun.
But to me, I'm a male. Okay?
Okay.
So, what are you? So I can call you sir or ma'am. What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
I'm not playing that game.
What would you assume looking at me?
I assume that you're a man. Okay?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end it there. That might even be the last one was on there. Anyway, he's not going to more.
What is a woman?
Oh. Yeah, Matt Walsh. We'll save that one for next time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, looking at the cringe-worthy moments of all of them. So,
We'll see what 2024 brings.
We'll see what 2024 brings. Yes, that's for sure. It's probably going to get worse. Namaste. Take it easy, everyone. Come on. Give me a second, guys, so I can get this